Hello, party people. So, I was thinking about this the other day. Nothing really inspired me to talk about it or vlog about it now, if you will. Why typically do men sag their pants? And I googled this. I stumbled upon this article, which was in like the first result. Let's learn a little something here. Let's learn something. So I'm gonna put myself here. Okay. For menswear style, right? We have the real history behind sagging pants, originating from prison uniforms and popularized by hip-hop and skate culture. Trends are by their very nature ridiculous. However, few of them are quite as ridiculous as the practice of wearing one's jeans around one's arse with boxer shorts on full display. To those in the know, this is called sagging, a male fashion trend that has dipped in and out of popularity since the early 1990s and was first popularized in hip-hop and skate culture. But how did something as stupid as this make its way into the mainstream? Well, there are plenty of rumors. As you can see, this article is not unbiased. So let me break it down here, right? You are not a rapper until you have been in at least one show. Okay? Just think about that for a second. I can't call myself a comedian until I've been in a show. Like an established show where you audition, you would like to get a portion of the proceeds, and it's considered a talent. It's considered a craft. And you practice this craft, this skill, every day. Now, just because you like to freestyle every now and then, that doesn't make you a rapper. Okay, I'm just saying. Obviously, not all rappers are famous. Obviously. So let's look at like a whole skater culture, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong about this. As a skater, you have to know how to skateboard. Skate on skates, rollerblades, longboards, and if you don't know how to do those, how can you call yourself a skater? I mean, isn't the talent aspect of it, isn't that important? Don't get me wrong. One of the most widely repeated stories proposes that in the American prison system, sagging pants were a sign of, quote, sexual availability, and that this is where the trend first originated. Another rumor is that gang members in the States took to wearing their jeans in this way as it made it easier for them to conceal weapons. However, both of these theories are untrue. But you know what they say about theories and rumors and stereotypes. There's always some truth to them. The real origins of the sagging fad did come from the American prison system, but not as a signal that the wearer was up for a bit of action. In actual fact, prisoners were often given uniforms that were several sizes too big for them, and due to suicide prevention efforts behind bars, were not allowed belts. This combination of factors led to inmates' trousers riding at half-mast much of the time. As prisoners were released, they continued to wear their trousers sagged, and it wasn't before long it creeped into the hip-hop dress code. Okay. So what they're basically saying is this originated in prison, but not for the reasons people think. At least not agreed upon. There's no 100% insurance about it. How would I know this? Well, not only is it from the article, for my experience from being in prison myself, people sag their pants bare. Yeah. Young men all over the world were soon brandishing their buttocks above their jeans, but not everyone was as accepting of the new trend. Understandably, a lot of older people saw this new craze as the height of disrespect and met it with widespread disapproval. Over the years, schools, airlines, transport agencies, and local governments have all brought in rules and regulations against sagging. But as anyone who can remember their teenage years will agree, tell a young man to do something and they'll do the exact opposite. Although laws were passed locally in states, there was never a federal law against low-riding jeans. The great Barack Obama even mentioned it in 2008, calling the implementation of such laws, quote, a waste of time, but going on to say, having said that, Brothers should pull up their pants. You're walking by your mother, your grandmother, and your underwear is showing. What's wrong with that? Come on. Some people might not want to see your underwear. I'm one of them. I agree. I very much agree. For some reason, there's a shadow of Justin Bieber here. Low riding is no longer reserved just for skaters and rappers with baggy jeans. In the early 2010s, Justin Bieber, among others, popularized the sagging of skinny jeans, something which unfortunately caught on with the trend followers and can still be seen in Nando's all over the land today. What the hell are Nando's? Like every trend though, while it might seem like a good idea at the time and everyone might be doing it, ultimately, by taking part, you're just setting yourself up for a load of photos which will be difficult to look at a few years later down the line. Hopefully, we're all past that point in life where we feel it's necessary to sag our pants. But if you're not quite there yet, then let this be your warning. No? Oh, this one comment right here I did actually read. I thought it was a really good comment. I have 2 sons. This is from Inger Wee Rogers. That's her screen name, I think. And I brought their clothes to fit from knee-high to a duck to teenagers. To this very day, I'm half good. My youngest DTLR form-fitting clothes with a belt, while my oldest is 6'4", almost 200 pounds. With these new styles, I stay on him, and he pulls them up. However, I disagree with seeing young men losing sight of their waistline, especially when these undergarments look like they've had them on for a week. There's nothing sexy about walking around with their undergarments showing. Justin Bieber is not helping. All he's doing is appealing to those who can't find their way. Finally, the subject is not about race. It's about perspective and respect for oneself. I mean, let me break this down here, alright? This article doesn't mention this, but I'll get to this point. If you were born in the suburbs, in a maybe middle upper class neighborhood, and essentially were you born with a spoon in your mouth, a silver spoon in your mouth? In other words, were you spoiled? Now, if you want to look at rapper and skater culture, but let's specifically look at the rapper culture right now. Why are people who are not hard, they're not thugs, they're not even rappers, why are they sagging their pants? I mean, I don't do it, and among the people I know, I'm the only one remotely qualified to be sagging his pants. As I'm not sure if I mentioned on this channel or not, my channel, if anyone has the privilege to choose to sag their pants, that person will be me. I was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where at the time in the 90s, partially the 80s, Bridgeport, there was no good part of Bridgeport. And in my opinion, that's still overall true. Because think about it, if you're in a good neighborhood in Bridgeport, right? How many blocks do you have to walk until you're not in that good neighborhood anymore? Tell me I'm wrong. Go to these neighborhoods, walk around by yourself, tell me I'm wrong. If you choose to do that, it was nice knowing you. I hope you don't carry any cash on you. The whole skater scene, like I was never into that, but like I know some people were, and if there's a famous skater that you're imitating, or a lifestyle or a brand, then okay, that makes sense. As long as you are a skater. Again, if you don't know how to skateboard or do anything with wheels like that on it, then I don't think you have the right to call yourself a part of skater culture. Because, like, is that basically a groupie? Like, if you just hung out with skaters but you didn't know how to skate yourself, does that make you a groupie? Like, am I wrong? Am I way off base here? But yeah, I've never done it, and I don't intend to. And if you guys want to think about it in the future, not myself of course, but for anyone who has male children in the future, possibly even female. Would you want your kids sagging their pants? Or would you, like a normal adult, tell them to pull their fucking pants up? Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to smell it. No one wants to touch it. Like, I don't get it. I even seen like people who are sagging their pants and they're not showing their boxers. They're showing like basketball shorts or some shit like that. Now, you're telling me you're wearing 3 layers just to wear pants? I mean, if it's not the winter time, I guess maybe that would qualify. Maybe that's a good excuse to keep warm. I don't know. But then wouldn't it make sense to make the clothes cover you more if it was the winter time? Because it's cold in the winter. I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but in the winter it's cold. Alright, that's all I can really say about it. Like, I'm not gonna tell people what to do or what to wear, but I would highly consider what the culture they're trying to imitate is. Because, let's be real, you didn't think of that yourself. Like, just judging from this article, you weren't in prison and you figured this out on your own. Like, it's a trend. It's a culture. I get it. That's fine. But I should not have it forced upon me. I think there's no difference between the skinny jeans being sagged versus other pants in the past. It's the same shit. I'm sorry, but like, it's just, you're gonna spend like what, like $100 on a pair of jeans only to wear them halfway? You're gonna let the cuffs, the bottoms of the jeans where your feet are, you're gonna let those drag on the floor and get dirty? This pair of jeans you just spent a hundo for? You're telling me you're buying those jeans to not wear them properly so they can get damaged later? Okay, I guess that's all I got. Maybe I'm way off base. I want to say to each their own, but I just feel like some people have the choice to do this, while other people have the choice and the right to do this. Now, what distinguishes those people? Just look at this article right here. That's all I'm trying to say. Alright, thanks for listening, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. Just a quick addition for you guys. I found this video on the same site. I didn't take a look at it until now. There are health reasons why you should not be sagging your pants. Just saying, health reasons, actual physical damage you can do your body by sagging your pants. Not to mention getting your ass kicked. Anyway, let me just move me up here.
Welcome back. I'm here with family physician and sex specialist Dr. Rachel Ross, who's going to help answer some of your saggy, baggy, and shaggy questions. We're going to get right to our first one. It comes from Sharon in Atlanta, Georgia, who writes, "Dear doctors, I've been trying to get my 17-year-old son to pull up his pants regardless of what's in style. I just don't think it's appropriate for boys to constantly have their underwear showing. And I recently heard sagging can cause serious nerve problems in the legs. Is this true?"
Medically speaking, if you notice how low the pants can sag, if you have a belt that's consistently constricting across the lateral part of your thigh here, the lateral femoral cutaneous nerve can actually get compressed, and you have young patients coming in with complaints that their feet are going numb, their legs are hurting, and really the quick fix is to pull up your pants and or relax the belt.
There's a nerve. It's called the lateral femoral cutaneous nerve. It runs down the side of your leg, and it's basically sensory innervation for this entire outer part of your thigh. These kids will end up with numbness, tingling sensation because you're literally constricting that nerve. It's a true neuralgia. It's also known as skinny pants syndrome because the kids who are wearing super skinny pants, if your pant is so tight, and women, this is true for you too.
Absolutely.
You can compress that nerve, and you have to. It's a paresthesia. You have to change your behavior if you're getting that numbness there. So that is a legitimate concern, right?
Yes.
But beyond that, I have issues just as a physician, as a citizen, when I have to look at young kids and boys, and we even have a picture of Justin Bieber. You know, they're showing their, like, that to me is bordering on not wearing clothes, and I worry about the message we're sending. You know, clothes are designed to help support things, and imagine me walking around the hospital with my scrubs below my, you know,
you might get extra dates. I mean, because for some reason,
not.
young people tend to think that this is really attractive, and when they look at where this came from, it actually came from the prisons. Prisoners.
So, just to point out, she's wrong about this part, because what was just said in the article, and from my own knowledge, this is a stereotype of where it came from, not truly where it came from. Maybe it's like a 10%, 90% thing, but like what she's about to say is a stereotype. And what do we say about stereotypes?
Who actually were interested in other male prisoners would wear their pants low like this so that the buttocks is a little exposed, so that everybody knows, hey, you know, I would like some action. So when you think about where this came from, it really, you know, young men across the country really need to stop and pause. And the parents who bring their kids in, and this is the main issue, I always tell them, I said, now, studies are showing that 70 to 80% of all guys who wear their pants like this are actually starting to have erectile problems. So they're actually starting to have trouble with their erection. So sagging is leading to lagging in the bedroom.
You know, this has gotten so serious that some businesses, even some towns, are banning people from wearing saggy pants.
As men's trousers sag lower, more communities and businesses are passing regulations that limit how low they can go. A Texas shopping mall won the right to ban saggy pants on its property. And in Albany, Georgia, repeat fashion offenders can be fined up to $200. And even though celebrities like his sagginess Justin Bieber celebrate those lowriders, there may be genuine medical concerns, besides airing soiled skivvies, for keeping your pants up.
You know, this is ultimately a form, I guess, for a lot of people of personal expression, but I think there's a fine line of personal expression and overexpression. That's why you can't walk down the street naked. So I think it's totally fine if businesses want to say, look, pull your pants up. Maybe I'm old school, but
Yeah,
kids, just be aware that these things can have true consequences.
Links are below to both the article and this video. Just right off YouTube, off the show The Doctors. So now there's cultural and health, physical health reasons not to sag your pants. But people are still gonna do it anyway. Whatever, right? Take care of yourselves and each other, guys.